I really don't know how we're going to be getting all this out of here.
Huh?
Quite a performance.
Who are you?
I play the leading man. Who else? Fran, the Magicite.
Now then, I'll take that.
No, you won't. I found it. It's mine.
And then when I take it from you, it'll be mine. Exit stage right.
The gods do not smile on us.
I like it better that way.
Something's clearly distracting the guards. Get the feeling I know what it is. So yeah, now all that's left is to get out of here, but do we have that, yeah, there it is, the Goddess's Magicite. Must be extremely valuable. Well, it's got Goddess in its name, of course it's extremely valuable, but, I'm not really sure that we're exactly in the league of that guy and his, well, basically rabbit elf partner. By the way, he's voice acted by Gideon Emery in his natural accent, so he's actually putting on a fake accent for Gaius in Fire Emblem Awakening.
What's going on?
As I thought, just happened to be sneaking in during a rebellion.
The Ifrit, eh? That's quite an entrance. Impeccable timing. If I didn't know better, I'd say they were waiting all along.
Almost as if they knew that the banquet would be a target for rebels.
Stop running! End of the line. You have something that belongs to me.
And that scene was in all the trailers.
Damn!
All this way!
Fran, let's move! Off with you!
It's like malicious rescuing from Fire Emblem.
Let go of me!
Keep this up and I will. What's going on, Fran?
I don't know, it's not heating me.
Don't have time for this.
I'm slipping!
Not good.
What happened? Our hover didn't just drop. It disappeared.
Ah, forget it. Even if we could fly, the Ifrit's playing with fire, and I'd rather not get burned. We'll go the old-fashioned way. Not many Viera where you come from, thief?
It's Vaughn. Sorry.
Well, Fran is special in that she deigned to partner with a Hume.
Oh? Like a sky pirate that chooses to steal through the sewers.
Pirates? You're sky pirates? So you have an airship?
It's both here. Listen, thief, Vaughn, if you ever want to see your home again, you'll do exactly as I say. Myself, Fran, and you, we're working together now. Understood?
Don't even think you're getting this.
The thought never crossed my mind.
More like, we forcibly joined their party. Vaughn is now a sky pirate, but not in the way that he wanted to be. So, we have Balthier and Fran here in the party, and if we check their equipment screens, Balthier has a gun and onion shot, and Fran has a short bow and onion arrows. I intentionally didn't buy ammo at the stores earlier because I knew they'd come with onion shot and onion arrows. So you might notice also Balthier's seemingly very low attack power of 7. Guns ignore defense though, so they make up for it that way. Now, with that, also just comparing all three of us, you might notice Vaughn's weirdly high magic compared to the others, and I mentioned that earlier. So, in terms of overall stats, Balthier's actually a lot tankier than you might think. He actually, I've heard, does decently well in more bulky classes, while Fran is interesting. So, in the original PS2 version, Fran had kind of mediocre stats in everything, and just pretty much sucked at any role. But in this version, I think they buffed her. She now has the highest vitality of the party, I think. I know it affects status resistance, but I think it also affects, like, HP and defenses to some extent. But anyway, so we now have to choose classes for these two, and I know what I'm going to go for Balthier, and it's not White Mage. So yeah, I was going to make him a Mechanist, because this class just kind of seems tailor-made for his personality. It uses guns, and he can charm people to his side. I mean, it completely fits. So, I'll talk more about this when we actually see them fighting, but Balthier was actually objectively the worst gun user in the original game, even though that's his canon weapon, and it was because it was his canon weapon that he was objectively the worst gun user. Again, I'll go into that when I actually get into his weapons and stuff, but now that we've picked that, we can go to license board. So he starts out with guns 1. Okay, armlet, diamond armlet, argyle armlet. He can get light armor. We don't really have much in the way of light armor, though. And right now, it's probably no point getting more guns because we can't even buy new guns right now. And of course, he starts out with steel, which makes sense. Measures. Okay, so measures are a very weird type of weapon. They do damage. Oh, Thieves' Cuffs, I think, increases your chances of stealing or makes you steal better items, so I might actually get that. But yeah, I may as well talk about measures later. They're weird. They're really, really bizarre in terms of how they work. Although guns too would be useful for later, but I'm gonna be in trouble later on if I don't get better light armor licenses. Potion lore, Inquisitor. Gain MP after dealing damage. Well, you're not really using much in the way of MP. I'm gonna actually grab that, because I have a lot of potions right now, and they're actually starting to show their age in terms of how much they recover. We can be licensed to use balaclavas. I kind of want, I think I only have one of those though, but it's pretty cheap, I may as well grab that. Firefly and Bangle, yeah, we have a Firefly in inventory, and it's kind of a weird one. I'll show it. Martyr, yeah, it's not great, but I'd rather take, I guess I can take Inquisitor for now, in case I get abilities that use MP later. Oh, I have access to that right now if I manage to get 50 LP in this dungeon, which I kind of doubt. But if I do, that will be cool to show. I can also get Time Magic. But I think the licenses that are floating off the side of the board actually require certain things to be able to use. I don't even know what Makara is. I think it's a bomb. There's Charm. And yeah, and there's Remedy Lore. Sap is actually pretty brutal, so you want the ability to cure that. Traveler. Yeah, I think that was kind of bad originally, but I think that can be decent now. Horology, yeah, that actually is based on your playtime. Some of the techniques are really weird in how they work. Just an HP boost. Oh, Ribbon, yeah, anyone who knows Final Fantasy games knows how good the Ribbon is. Yeah, I'm guessing the best guns are over here. Oh, you can get Poach as well. Achilles is kind of a nice skill as well. And as for Fran, so when I originally played, I made Fran this weird hybrid archer slash secondary magic user. I'm not really sure how I can replicate that in this version though, because I'll probably have to go with archer, but here's the thing, I actually want magic too. So there's red battle mage. So we get arcane and then limited white and black magic. If I go to preview license board, dark, which I have, and darkra, okay. Okay, they get some green magic as well as white magic, so yeah, they get a whole, kind of variety of things. Fire, okay. So they just get kind of... honestly, this actually very much fits the kind of thing I made her in the original game. I had her just use a basic hodgepodge of magic from various types to kind of fill whichever niche I wasn't filling with my main mages. I obviously am not going to make her a black mage because I have someone else in mind for black mage. The issue is, though, that I'm going to have to... Because I'm thinking for later what I do in terms of certain things that might end up coming later on. So what do I get early with Archer? Okay, in that case I have Steel immediately, and then I can use, these. I have access to a whole bunch of magic laws over there, which might actually be useful. And more bows as well as Achilles. Is this one of the games where Guild Toss can be really broken? I'm not sure if it is. I know there are some games where you can really break the game with Guild Toss. Like, considering that I don't actually have much in the way of magic right now, I'm thinking of actually getting you started on Red Battle Mage first. I mean, she'll have a basic bow regardless of, you know, what I put her into. So I'm going to get that, so now you have access to Dark. And Slow, because I bought that too. And Oil. I don't see basic fire here, so unless you always have access to that. Magic armor. And then maces, which I don't have any maces right now, so it's probably pointless to try and grab those. Can even get Protect quite early. I think I'll actually save up for a Protect and Shell or this. Cura and Raise early is also quite useful. Okay, so if I press down... Oh, I kind of want to make Balthier the leader, but at the same time, Fran has most of my magic. I don't know if any of her gambits are actually coded to use magic. Yeah, okay, so she can. So I'm guessing that anyone who can use magic can use like the lower tier spells. So she can use fire, but now she gets oil and stuff, and also dark. Oh, dark costs a lot of MP though. Yeah, but I think for now I'm actually going to control Balthier because, you know, Balthier is awesome. He feels a little slow running though. I'm pretty sure everyone moves at the same speed, but still. So when we start attacking, I'll talk about that weird thing that actually meant Balthier was the objectively worst gun user in the original, and Fran was the objectively worst bow user, despite bows being her cannon weapon. And, okay, I think now is when we actually get full access to, yep, gambits. Okay, I thought so. Do we have access to, like, I might be able to have Fran be able to do oil fire combos here. So, yeah, this is one of the biggest systems of this game, and this is probably at the point where, like, if you thought the battle system was kind of boring earlier, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So, Balthier starts out with First Aid, and currently he has Ally Any, First Aid, and then Foe, Nearest Visible Attack. So, like, it works like programming. It's like an if-then kind of system. And yeah, he's doing this automatically. Kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, how your allies will just spam potions. So yeah, now you can choose. See, look at this. Like any party leader, Vaughn... Her Pinello's an option, even though she's not in the party. So yes, list of available actions, and yeah, you can choose like any of these here. You can potentially make people do really stupid things like less than 70% throw an ether at them, but yeah, that wouldn't really work too well. I believe, also, yes, so you can actually set gambits to attack your own allies. There are tactics involving this, like for absorbing certain elements, or you can say things like ally confused attack, because I believe getting hits snaps you out of confusion. That's actually what you're supposed to use measures for, because measures confer positive status ailments on when they hit something, so you want to actually use them to hit your allies and not enemies. And yeah, first aid only works if somebody's HP is critical, so I probably shouldn't do that. Oh, I have an arrow mode. Yeah, that casts the arrow spell. Only have one of those, though, so I really shouldn't be setting it as a gambit at this point. Yeah, so yeah, you kind of have to buy better AI, this means, which is sort of a problem. But yeah, we have quite a few options from the start, though. We can choose specific people, we can have people who are on very low health, ally status HP critical, though sometimes that won't work until it's too late, and here are the faux gambits. Party leader's target, nearest visible, any targeting, ally targeting, and then targeting specific characters too, highest HP, lowest HP, highest level. There's actually this is a pretty deep system, honestly, and people gave it flack earlier on in when this game was released, because they thought, oh yeah, it just makes the game play itself. And here's another important thing about gambits. Yes, as he's saying, the one in the first slot always takes priority. Balthia's dialogue is so good. Whoever wrote Balthia's dialogue is a genius. And yeah, if you want somebody to only do the things you specifically tell them to do, you turn off their gambits. And yes, there's no use retreating if everyone's gambits are on attack nearest enemy. Or as Balthia is saying, it's hard to fall back when your allies insist on picking a fight. Again, Balthia's dialogue is genius. And yes, you can actually have different sets of gambits. Like, you might have one for boss fights and one for regular encounters. Like, one for physical, one for magic. So, there's a lot of depth in this system, and fully customizable party AI is really not something that many RPGs have. Again, like, seriously, like, Estelle in Trails in the Sky might be the only person who comes close to how amazing Balthia's dialogue here is. Yeah, there are sometimes you can have gambits like faux weak to fire, so you can do things like that as well. So now we can customize gambits, finally. And I'm gonna go ahead and do just that, because I really want to see if I can do something with Fran here. So, she's currently on party leader's target attack, or if the party leader has no target attack, the nearest visible. Let's set up something a little bit different. Oh, by the way, you actually do gain more gambit slots as you progress through the game. I don't know if it's based on level or not, but let me just see if I can try something. Faux... I'll say at the moment, faux nearest visible. Where's oil? There he is. Oil. Then... Okay, at this rate, though, that means that she'll oil everything before she starts attacking. I think we later on unlock, like, faux status equals oil, then you can use, like, fire. That's probably better. But instead, if I then do nearest visible... Yeah, this is probably not going to work out that well. Fire. Again, like, in this case, she's going to run through her MP pretty quickly because she'll be oiling everything and then she'll be using fire. And then this set of gambits I can use for just regular attacking. And then maybe I can have a third for if I want her to be healing. So in this case, less than 50%. And then use Cure. Do we have, like, ally status blind? No, we don't. Okay. Well, I guess... yeah. Let's see. And then HP critical, I'll say use a potion. Because potions come out faster than the cure spell does. So yeah, now I have 3 sets of gambits for her. I'll currently have her on this one, I think. And then Bolthea, yeah, this is stupid, because then he'll just spam first aid at everything whenever there's a battle. So I'm going to have him prioritize weak enemies. And then his second priority will be first aiding anyone who's at critical health. It takes a while to set these up, but they can be pretty fun. For example, like if I've got Varn here, I could actually do foe nearest visible steal. So if I have this set of gambits turned on, then Varn will constantly spam steal on the nearest enemy. Not like super efficient or anything, but it can be useful if you just want to steal on autopilot to get a whole bunch of loot. And then I can also have party leaders target attack. So, yeah. Again, it's kind of complicated at first.
And I'm going to awkwardly pause the video here for some post-commentary. There's something about the Gambit system that I really, really feel the need to point out right now, because I don't actually realize it until many, many episodes in. I've pre-recorded this. You can open the party menu at any time, including during combats. And this is important because it lets you swap between your 3 gambit sets on each character in the middle of a fight. Again, I didn't realize this for a little while, so I will not be using that for many videos, but just bear that in mind if you're playing along with this game because it's very important.
Insurgents. Most like they thought to take advantage of a lax watch at the palace while the fate's on, to feed the good consul a length of steel for his supper. I should think Vane used to such hospitality. Clever. He used himself as the bait to draw them near, and then sent in the air brigade. A fine, bloody banquet. I dare say I've soiled my cuffs. If a dungeon's waiting for us at the end of the night, it had best have a change of wardrobe.
Yeah, that whole thing was a trap. So one day, Vane is giving rousing speeches to the audience, and another, he's setting traps and destroying insurgents. Yeah, so Fran just oiled that thing, which was... And now she's casting fire. I guess it's... Yeah, it already, like, died. And yeah, now she's going for oil again. So this set of gambits may not be the most efficient one. She's going to be running out of MP pretty quickly, so I'm going to switch her off of that for the moment and switch her to her attacking gambit set for now. Just so I don't waste my MP on oil. I think these chests always contain maps. Okay, so the Garam Scythe Waterway, now we have the full map. And yeah, as you can see there, that's where the area at the start would have led to. So we've got a little, yeah, we've got quite a while to go actually. So I'm definitely, best to conserve MP here and not go too crazy with oil on things. It's best to use the oil fire strategy for enemies that are a little bit tougher, like, you know, that aren't rats that just die in a couple of hits, especially since we have a full party of 3 now. The rats are pretty much no threat to us at this point. Although the oil fire strategy I don't think is going to help against the boss of this area. Because, oh, I spoiled that there is a boss here. Our target's too far away. If you get closer though, or I could just climb up here and see if I can get closer to it. Or I could instead just attack the rat, because it's probably closer. Can I reach this far? See, I just did 58 damage with Bolthea and did considerably less with everyone else, and that's because guns ignore physical defense, so kind of nice that way. But what's not nice is I can talk about that thing that I was mentioning before. So, in the... Well, I think it's still the case now, but... Why did we get a second... I guess we could potentially have had Varn with gun licenses by this point, so he could potentially use that. But because guns are like Bolthea's cannon weapon, he has a unique animation when shooting them. This unique animation happens to be slower than the generic gun animation, which made him objectively the worst gun user in the game in the original version. And Fran was exactly the same for bows. She has a unique animation for shooting bows, and it was slower than the regular bow animation, so it's, yeah. Again, like, they were supposed to be the best at using these weapons, but they were instead the worst, and it's probably the same in this version. So, like, this is probably not optimal or anything, but at the same time, I just can't help but do it because, you know, it's Balthier and Fran. Fran's like an archer and Balthier's a gun user. It makes sense from a story standpoint. I think those things are probably too far away. I see two chests over there, though, and you're probably... I also see the name Gigantoad. Okay, this thing right here, I actually think that thing is weak to fire. So, Fran, you can go ahead and cast fire on it. Now, is this one of these games where magic doesn't wake you up from sleep? Yeah, that fire did a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure the Gigantoad is weak to fire, although I could be wrong about that. Looks like a horned Gigantoad as well. Wow, that is one bulky stealing. Okay, I think that thing does confuse you. A horn. So before I do anything else, I think I'll actually have Varn go ahead and... not do that, but I'm going to have Varn go ahead and Libra. I mean, you can really cast it on anyone. I think it has the same effect regardless, but kind of like to have him cast it on himself. Now, let me see if I was right. Yes, it is weak to fire. Okay, so that's good to know. But, like, again, there's a boss in this place, and I have a feeling the boss is severely resistant to fire. So, I don't know. Was that like our first critical hit of the whole game? I don't know exactly how critical hits work in this game, what their formula is, or what like the formula for how much damage they do is, but, you know, critical hits, they exist in most RPGs. But I'm pretty sure this is one of those, oh right, yeah, both his gambits are on, so he'll automatically be attacking things. In that case, I think Fran will just, I'll fire one, and then I'll have her fire the other, and then we'll finish them off with our regular attacks. Angel Song. That doesn't sound good. Yeah, let's go for the healthier Gigantoad, while Balthier attacks the weaker Gigantoad. Oh, regen, okay. It's not like a straight heal, it just regenerates your health. And we're automatically going for the HP weakest enemy. Oh right, you do regenerate MP while you're walking, so I can probably afford to be a little bit less conservative with Fran's magic. So I might actually change her gambits around a little bit. Okay, Dark's an AoE attack. I'm gonna try how she does with Dark right now. Of course, Balthier has the potion lore, so I can have him potion Varn, who's taking quite a bit of damage. Still not really doing a ton, though. There's a weird diagonal shaft here. Oh, the chest was here. I thought it would be at the end. Another potion. Oh, there was a chest at the end. Oh, and there's a chest down down there too. I should probably go back to that. Pathetic amount of gil. And that was an equally pathetic amount of gil. Literally, it was the same amount. As I've said before, chests are somewhat randomized in this game. Well, not somewhat. They're usually entirely randomized in terms of their contents. But I think there are some fixed chests, and I think in Zodiac Age they changed it so that a few of the chests have, like, some spells are only available in chests, like in specific chests, whereas I think in the original most of them were available in shops. Nothing through there. Doesn't look like there's anything through there either. There's a save crystal here. That makes me slightly suspicious, but I don't know if this is the boss area or not. We're still a little bit stuck in a plot tunnel, though. I was about to actually switch over to Fran, but... No, wait, this could be the boss.
Now we have
or it's a cutscene.
Who would be next?
Close ranks, bring her down.
Form up, surround them all, don't let a single one of them escape.
Jump down! Hurry!
Oh, that was a nice catch. I thought she was gonna stomp his face or something.
Our ranks grow by the hour.
And our troubles with them.
Yep, it's time to face these guys. Okay, one of them has protect status. Although Fran's Dark could be quite useful here. I'm gonna try stealing from them. Usually, like a lot of human enemies in FF games, you usually just steal potions. But I think there are some enemies that, like, you can stop them from using their, Okay, Dark is really good! I'm not regretting making her a red mage.
You alright?
Thank you.
I'm Vaughn. And this is Balthier, and hey! What's your name?
Amalia.
Amalia, huh? Nice to meet you.
There were others with me. I'm sorry. No.
Oh, now isn't that impressive?
Don't get any ideas. I said it's mine.
I'm afraid the jury's still out on that one.
You stole that?
Yeah.
Have you finished? When the guards don't report in, they'll come looking for us.
If they aren't already.
You should come with us. Better than being by yourself.
Very well.
What's wrong with her?
You have a lot to learn before we even get started on your thievery.
What's that mean?
The situation requires I accept such help as I find, though it be from thieves. I shall accompany you until we find my companions, no longer.
Let's think of her as a guest, then. Unlike Fran or myself, our guest probably won't be taking orders from anyone anytime soon, and she'll leave when she pleases. So we keep to our affairs and she to hers. I doubt we'll find her wanting in valor, being such an upstanding member of the insurgents.
Resistance. Well, what are we waiting for?
That quote is the TV Tropes quote for guest star party member for a reason. The other reason why I think Balthier is great is he's pretty much the most meta character Final Fantasy has ever had. He just basically summed up exactly how guest party members work. And I think guests actually changed a little bit in how they work in Zodiac Age. So, in the original, guests had an unlimited supply of potions and like other items, but in this version, guests use your own inventory. They also have their own gambits, I think. Okay, she's set to use Cure. And I believe... Yes, you can actually control guests in Zodiac Age. You couldn't in the original game, so that comment about not taking orders from anyone anytime soon is actually kind of a lie in this version. What does she have? Oh, she only has Cure. Okay, then. That's, unfortunately not the best. Fran is kind of outclassing her as a magic user at this point, and that's kind of sad. A big open area. That's not suspicious at all. It's Attack of the Flans! Yeah, they're pretty common recurring enemies in Final Fantasy games, and usually physical attacks do barely anything, and magic is pretty much the main way to go against them. These ones are weak to fire though, so I should probably have set Fran Fran's gambits to using things like fire. Like, for example, if I attack like this... But yeah, they're taking very little damage from physical attacks. I should probably try stealing from them, though, just to see what I get. Yeah, this is about the point where you're expected to use some kind of magic, at least, because... yeah. These things really don't like magic, but physical is pretty much pathetic against them. I'd recommend... No, it didn't explode, it just melted. I was about to say I'd recommend getting away, but, yep, there it goes. And that's the water supply of this city, probably ruined for a while. Unless they're always down there, but that only raises further questions. But yeah, with certain scripted fights, you actually get the classic Final Fantasy victory theme afterwards. So they still found a way to work this into the game, even though there's no victory theme for random battles. I forgot this was the first time I played, though. I thought it first played after the main boss of this area, because that was not the main boss. Though it was a very suspicious, again, suspicious large room, and for some reason I'm controlling Vaughn again. I don't actually want to control Amalia right now because her moveset is really boring. She has barely anything. I'm actually going to switch to Fran now. But firstly, I'm going to grab this chest. Then I'll go back to that save point and, well, save. High potion, nice.